demand and supply given as functions. Right, so this is the supply curve, this is the demand curve, the other way around. Prices in dollars, quantities in thousands. What is the equilibrium price in this market? This is straightforward. How do we find the equilibrium price? Set them equal to each other, because we know at equilibrium the prices are going to be the same, the quantity is going to be the same. So basically 30 minus 2q, and I can call this q star because that's an equilibrium, equals 5 plus 1 half q star. Right, so the 5 goes to the left. We have 25 equals, this goes to the other side, so 2.5 q star, or q star equals 10. Now I'm being asked what the price in equilibrium is, right? So this is equilibrium quantity. I can just take this, plug it in anywhere in one of the two functions, and I would get the price. So quantity of 10, 30 minus 20, right? That gives me the equilibrium price, and that's 10 as well. So the price in equilibrium is 10, which is C. What is total surplus in equilibrium? Total surplus. So let's draw a picture. Demand, supply. We know that the equilibrium quantity is 10, equilibrium price is 10. This is price, this is quantity. What is total surplus? Well, it's the area of this triangle, right? Look at this. It's that area. What is this point here? 30. That's the demand curve intercept. That is 30. And that point there? 5, which is the supply intercept. So to find the area of this triangle, what is the base of this triangle? How large is it? 25. And the height? 10. That's the quantity in equilibrium. Divided by 2, because it's a triangle, it's 125. And it's in thousands, because of the quantity being in thousands. Okay? So this is B. Alright, same world. If a tax of $5 per unit is imposed on this market, what is the deadweight loss caused by the tax? Alright. So what do we know about the tax? The tax is going to be basically the difference between the demand and the supply curve. Right? That's the amount of the tax. And deadweight loss is the amount of the tax times the quantity lost due to the tax. Right? So my deadweight loss would be tax amount times quantity in equilibrium minus quantity after tax, right? Divided by 2. That's my deadweight loss. Right? So what do I know? Do I know the tax? Yeah, it's $5. What is the quantity in equilibrium? 10. And what is the quantity after tax? We don't know. Question mark, right? So basically, as soon as I find this, I can plug it back in and solve, right? How do I find the quantity in equilibrium? The quantity after tax? Well, I know that the difference between the demand and the supply curve is going to be equal to the amount of the tax. Right? This is the demand curve at that quantity. This is the supply curve at that quantity. Right? And I know that the difference between them is 5. So I can set up that equation. I would just say PD minus PS equals 5 and solve. Right? Now when I plug in the functions, I'm going to solve for Q. And because Q is the same here, right? So quantity supplied and quantity demanded is going to be the same. So I just can plug in the functions and solve. So it's 30 minus 2q equals 5, sorry, minus 5 plus 0.5q. The whole thing is equal to 5. Right, and I can just solve this. You can distribute the negative, right? Just algebra. So what is it? 30 minus 2q minus 5 minus 0.5q equals 5. So this is negative 2.5q. I can move that to the other side, and I will move the 5 here. So this is 30 minus 5, 25 minus 5, 20 equals, this is negative 2.5. I'll move it to the other side, 2.5q. Right? So the q in equilibrium, not in equilibrium, q after tax is 8. Right? It's 20 over 2.5. Okay, so now I know this is 8. So the quantity lost is 2. Right? And then what is the dead weight loss then? 5. Now, I'm pretty sure I should be in thousands, but that's okay. 5,000. Okay, same scenario. Find the price floor, right, given those curves, that would cause a surplus of 10,000 units. Alright. So for a price floor to cause a surplus, that it needs to be binding. Correct? So the price floor, is it going to be higher or lower than the equilibrium price? Alright. So the equilibrium price was 10, right, and a quantity of 10. Draw this again. Right, so this was 10, this was 10. So for a price floor to cause surplus, right, does it need to be more or less than 10? Alright, less than 10. So now what you're saying is, this market in equilibrium is selling the good for $10. Government comes in and tells them you cannot sell for less than 5. And suddenly we have a surplus. Does that make sense? Yeah? So would the market change if the floor is 5? Yes. Is the 10 still legal or not? It is still legal. The price floor tells you you cannot sell for less than 5. You have no desire to do so anyway, right? You're selling at 10. So whether or not there's a price floor below the 10, you don't really care. Because you're already in compliance with that law. So what does the price floor need to be then to actually have an impact? We just said that less than 10 does not work. Because this is a floor. So it needs to be higher than 10. That's the only other option, right? So if you put a price floor here, you're basically saying, people, you cannot sell for less than $5. And the market is like, okay, we're not doing it anyway. So whatever you told us to do is not going to affect us in any way. We'll still be selling at 10, we'll still be selling 10 units, right? That's period, that's it. This is a non-binding price floor. Nothing is affected, right? The original equilibrium does not become illegal under that new legislation. So there's no effect really in the market. Now, if the price floor is higher than the equilibrium price, right? Let's say it's 12. Then the government tells you you cannot sell this product for less than 12. And the market wants to sell it at 10. So now the market is going to have a problem because that 10 is no longer legal. Agreed? So what they do is they have to sell it for whatever the floor is, at least 12. And when they do so, let's say this is the price floor, it's higher. So when they sell it at that high price, there's a lot of people that are willing to supply this product, but not that many willing to buy it, right? Because now it's more expensive. This is supply, this is demand. So basically what we get here is a surplus, right? We have producers producing it, but not many people willing to buy it. So there's a surplus here. And the size of that surplus is basically, what is it? The difference in quantity supplied and quantity demanded at that price floor. Do you see that? So at that price floor, this is the quantity supplied, and at that price floor, this is the quantity demanded. So the size of the surplus is the difference between the two. All right, that being said, first of all, you have to realize that the price floor needs to be higher than 10. So those two are automatically out. Then you have 50% chance of guessing, very good chance. If you, however, don't want to guess, then you can solve. Right, so what we said, the surplus, the size of the surplus, we know is 10,000 units. And it needs to be the difference between the quantity supplied at that price and the quantity demanded at that price. So, what is the quantity demanded at any price? We can just solve from the demand formula, right? So if you solve for Q here, you get 30 minus P equals 2Q, or Q equals 15 minus P over 2, right? And do the same for the supply curve. So if you solve for quantity supplied here, what you get is P minus 5 equals 1/2 of Q, or Q equals 2P plus 10, minus 10. Right? 2P minus 10. Alright. So, I know that the quantity demanded minus the quantity supplied needs to be 10,000. Or, in this case, it needs to be 10, because all of those are in thousands. I can just set that minus that, or like quantity supplied minus quantity demanded. So that minus that equals to 10. Solve for P, right? And that's going to give me the price for it. That's all there is to it. So quantity supplied is 2P minus 10 minus quantity demanded, which is 15 minus P over 2 equals 10, because that's my surplus. Distribute the negative as you go. 2P minus 10 minus 15 plus 0.5P equals 10. This is 2.5P equals, well, this is negative 25. You add it to the right hand side, it is 35, or P is, well, 35 divided by 2.5, 14, I want to say.
14.
Alright, so now I know at the floor 14, which is a binding floor, quantity supplied is going to be exactly 10,000 units more than quantity demanded.